Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! RuPaul's Drag Race Season 9, Episode 8. We're already like really zooming through. It's like been 2 months of Drag Race and I'm loving it.
Oh, I hate doing this. I love it.
Oh, I could never. Sasha.
I hate doing this kind of stuff.
I know.
Sasha.
So first things first. Well, first things really first. If you didn't notice our new Season 9 intro that we totally forgot about and just implemented halfway through, yeah. Thanks, Rick Draws Things. Also check out his Redbubble.
Yeah.
Rick Draws Things
where I got
Redbubble.
this. Ooh.
Yay.
It's really quite delicious.
It's just the most amazing. It's literally the most amazing.
Well, so they've all come in.
Mm-hmm.
Who went home last week? Aja. Who went home last week?
Jimmy, Aja!
So they all come in the workroom.
It was funny though, it's more like, Jimmy, Aja, Jimmy, Aja,
Jimmy, aja, aja, aja. Jimmy, aja.
Anyway, so they all come in, and then Trinity and Shay are sort of comparing wins and losses. You know,
Yes.
Trinity's like, well, I've won 2 individual challenges.
Yes.
And
And
Shay's
Shay
like,
was a
I've
share.
never even been in the bottom 3. And they were just having like a fake fight, and it was like pretty fabulous.
It was fun.
But then Peppermint was like,
We're at the point now where if you haven't won at least one challenge, then why are you here?
that's fairly accurate.
And in fact, it was extremely accurate because
Well,
she won and Farrah didn't win and went home.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Turns out. But the best part is the library is open.
Checkered flag, library reading glasses realness. I loved it.
It's going to be a long one.
Hashtag checkered flag, library reading glasses realness. Yeah, that is long.
The library this season was good.
It was fine.
It was a mixed bag.
It was a mixed bag, which is kind of how the comedy challenge went.
So Sasha was like fine.
Broadway is calling. In this case, it's the one in Brooklyn where the whores were.
And then Peppermint was telling like 3-part stories.
It was, yeah.
Like there was like,
a read has got to be
There was a-
quick.
Your pads are so big. You bent down to pick something up off the street, and the garbage man says, "Who left this raggedy couch here?"
let's speed this up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Alexis was just kind of mean.
They're not your boyfriends. They're called Johns, and they're your employers.
It's
I
like,
just called her a prostitute,
Yeah.
essentially.
yeah. Because she's pretty.
Because she's a whore?
But I would say that that's kind of how I felt for this whole mini challenge, was that a lot of them weren't particularly funny reads.
Right.
It was just like the low-hanging fruit.
Exactly.
And that's never funny. That's always just kind of boring. You're like,
Well,
oh.
and-
I mean, okay.
when people keep repeating the same joke. Like
Right.
Shay's teeth.
Yeah.
Shay's teeth. You know, if you're gonna do it after someone already has, make it better. Has your barbecue been cancelled?
I mean, nothing will ever be a funnier joke about teeth than that, so...
Was your barbecue canceled? Your grill is
Like, you cannot
I
outdo...
could watch that for hours.
Forever. If it was like you
Drag-
have one thing left to watch, probably that.
your grill is
You know, so Alexis,
Well, so everyone, a lot of people
read her for being
read her
thick.
for being thick.
Or broad.
I will say I had heard Nina's joke before, Body Made Wrong. That joke has been made on the library challenge previously. But then, yeah, Alexis gets very personally offended by it.
Yeah.
And I mean, Rue said
Yes.
it best. I mean, she was basically like, so a little birdie told me that you were really upset that people made fun
I'm
of you.
really enjoying this Rue, like...
Shady, don't give a fuck Rue
Right?
is everything.
So you feel like it's okay for you to make fun of someone else, but not someone else to make fun of you?
And then Ross's face,
Oh.
Rue's like, girl, you just gotta laugh at it. Gotta
Yeah.
laugh at it. Move on.
Obviously, it helps if the people that are making those jokes are funny.
If someone reads you real good, it's like, yes. Like,
It's fun and
been
funny.
a pleasure being read by you.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, puerca. You won't understand this anyways. Mung na ma, mung ka to, mung nyai si tai.
So, I don't know, I feel like you know the library's open, just, and then it's closed.
Yeah.
But this whole season has been very overly sensitive. You know, we can't be mean, we can't, not
Eggshells.
a toe out of place,
Yeah.
everyone's got something, you know.
You could say that Alexis was reading other people as harshly as she was being read. You know, it's like, that's the game. You gotta dish it and take it.
Get over it. You knew people were gonna read you. You made fun of other people. Calm down. You're a drag queen, honey.
I thought Trinity actually had the best joke, I think, in the library about Farrah when she was just like,
You really are the social media queen. Too bad you can't get a filter for that personality.
I thought Valentina, well, she won.
Valentina was funny.
And I thought that she did pretty well.
This is also how it's edited, but they were like, joke, 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 joke.
I once told you that you're so beautiful inside and out. I lied, you ugly stripper.
Plus, all the comedy queens have been kicked off, so.
Well, sure, yeah. She's pretty funny.
She's funny, but I wouldn't put
Call
her in
her
the category of a
comedy
comedy queen.
No.
She's just like a fun, funny person.
Yes. Yes.
Charismatic.
Yeah.
Unique. Has a lot of nerve. She's talented, you know. She's got it all. What can I say?
The main challenge is...
Yes.
Roast. RuPaul Roast, but it's not RuPaul, it's Michelle Visage.
It was so funny. Earlier this week, I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if they roasted Michelle instead of RuPaul? Oh my god, it came true.
Yeah.
It was
great.
really weird.
This was fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
Once again,
Michelle
there are no comedy queens left.
Right.
So even the people who were funny, it was like, but they weren't hysterical. It was like, oh, you did good for what I expected from you.
Sure. Or you exceeded my expectations because I had none.
So Ru has gone around, she's talking to everyone, and they're talking to Sasha, and they're like, you know, are you funny? And she's like,
Have you written any jokes?
I've written the words mutton dressed as lamb.
Because a lamb is a baby, I guess. And
mutton
then
dressed as lamb.
I love how she had to explain it to everyone, and she explains it to Nina, and Nina's like, "No, girl, bye."
People use it to describe when someone who is old is dressing to appear younger.
Oh, hey. Bye, bitch.
That was like, oh gosh, this is so much.
But Sasha, thank Nina. Thank Nina.
Oh, for rejecting your mutton joke, yeah.
Well, girl, you need a different path.
Yeah. So they come back from commercial, and Shay, our tour guide, is like, this week on RuPaul's Drag Race, we're doing a roast of Michelle Visage. And then it was like dead cut to a huge breastplate.
Yes! Also with the nips
with
blurred
the
out
nips
again.
blurred. I don't get it.
It's so stupid.
I don't get it.
It's clearly a breastplate.
It was not attached to a body. It was just right. It was like on a wall or something.
Maybe they just did it as a joke. I don't know. I mean, obviously,
God,
but
it
like,
must be a joke at this point, right? But it really made me laugh that it was just like Michelle Visage.
Burr, burr.
Like I was like, oh, the editor said made a joke. Maybe they're coming back. Maybe they're getting our message. Oh, they already edited the whole thing before we even started this.
Like you sound like Farrah. I mean, I'll miss her a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was certainly time for her to go.
Yes. I didn't think that it was fair that everyone was reading her for not having a personality.
Right.
Because I think
it was really
she
just
does.
Trinity.
No, Ru did too. And I think some of the other judges...
Not in front of her.
Not in front of her. But she's going to watch the fucking show.
You know, the fact that everybody's like, oh, you look like this, means probably who she really is isn't coming through.
We are back to the tragedy mirror.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad this week. Like, it didn't linger, and it wasn't...
Yeah, it wasn't like, whoa.
Look, this happened. Okay, you know. And it ended on... They had like a...
I don't actually remember what it was.
Peppermint being detained in Russia.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh yeah.
Queer people in Russia are living in an oppressive system.
And Sasha was like, I hear you, and Russia is a very repressive place.
Russia's a really scary place, and we have fans, yay, hi, who are have said hello from Russia, and I'm like, oh my god, get out of there! But maybe it's not. Well, Russia scares me.
It's
for
scary.
gay people. And
oh, absolutely. Well, and I wanted to kind of know why Sasha lived there.
Someone posted this, that she was getting her
doctorate or something?
a Fulbright scholarship in Russia or something.
Of course she was. But of course.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised if Sasha was like pulling an Andy Kaufman and this was like a long con.
Sure.
To like infiltrate the drag scene or something. Not for anything nefarious, just like research, right? Like,
Sure.
Like, oh, and then she wrote an entire thesis on this.
I mean, just for the thesis, that's why.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Is she a witch? Is she a Nobel Peace Prize winner? I don't know.
Is she both?
Maybe.
Did she win her Nobel Peace Prize because she's a witch? I don't know. I don't know.
So anyway.
So yes, I mean, it was very, it's important to talk about, but it was like short and sweet.
I just have to keep in mind that it doesn't take away my womanhood.
Amen.
A woman.
Now, I will say this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pissed.
Me too!
Because if you look at the bonus video
On logotv.com.
they have this whole hilarious clip.
I'm so mad.
I'm so mad of them, of like Shay is reading Trinity for being a hungry slut.
Pick me up. Stick your dick in my mouth.
Oh my gosh.
It's part of the script. I want a dick in my mouth too.
And then it turns into an entire song with like 3 verses and a whole thing. I mean, at first it was just like...
the verses were all just, I want a dick in my mouth too.
You should make a song. I want a dick, I want a dick, I want a dick in my mouth too.
But then it was like, they built on the theme. Because at first it was just like, I want a dick, I want a dick, I want a dick in my mouth, or something like Farrah
That
said
was
something
good,
like
that was a good one.
It was better than I think what Farrah did actually.
Maybe.
Oh, I said it. Anyway, and then it turned into like operatic. I
Yes.
want a dick in my mouth.
Ooh, that was, I could have danced all night. I could have sucked a dick.
I played Eliza in high
And
school.
still,
I bet
you were fabulous.
Dick in my mouth. Dick in my mouth. We want dick in our mouth.
No, so that was so fun, and I don't know why they would cut that from the show.
Just cracked themselves up. It was really funny.
Yeah.
It was very just like them having a good time with each other. And I was like, why did we need, not that Peppermint's story isn't important, but why every week does it have to be something depressing?
Right.
Why can't it be fun too?
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of stuff is why we don't really feel like we know the queen's
I was just
personalities
gonna
as
say
much.
that. And what's interesting is that Farrah was the one, I noticed, Farrah was the one who started the whole song.
Mm-hmm.
I want a dick in my mouth too.
So, quick non-commercial break. And we'll be right back with their performance, the roast, and there's no runway really.
No, we'll talk about their outfits, but there is no runway.
Because there's a lot to be said. And then the judging and lip sync.
Oh boy, a lip sync.
Oh boy, a lip sync. Also, taking this opportunity, since there probably isn't going to be an ad now, if you want to support, please do our patreon.com/MovieBitches. We really appreciate it.
We really do.
We're trying to get to 1,500, so I have an excuse to wear my onesie on this review. So let's get there before Drag Race ends.
Is it going to be a Drag Race review that you wear the onesie?
Well, we'll see. It's up to them.
Well, we'll see. We'll find out.
So Ru walks down the runway.
Yeah.
Whoa. So, okay. I just have to get it out right now.
Uh-huh.
I think the unofficial theme of the night was Florida. So Ru to me looked like someone's fabulous mom on vacation, like going to Key West. Maybe if I'm being nice, she's going to like the Greek islands.
It was like a really beautiful dress, right? With like weight. It almost looked like a tapestry, right? With just like these flowers, and you're like, oh, that's kind of pretty. But then, why are there 6 sashes on top of it?
There's these weird.
What happened?
Yeah.
It was just like for no reason, and it looked completely like an afterthought.
But also the flowers. It was like, what's that test?
Rorschach test?
Yes, it's like a Rorschach test where I was like, what is, it's flowers. Is it flowers? Is that just what I see? Like, what does that tell me about my personality?
What did you see in there?
Right? Dicks.
I just saw flowers.
Sure. Rosebuds? You don't get it.
Are you making a Citizen Kane joke?
No.
Okay. Because, like, The whole joke with Citizen Kane is that Rosebud was apparently Hearst's name for Marion Davies' vagina.
Oh.
So when you think about it, Citizen Kane is one giant vagina joke, which makes me love it.
Yeah, because otherwise I didn't.
I mean, I get it, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Like, I get it.
Well, so a rosebud is also a term for...
Do I want to hear this?
Not really.
Okay, I'm good. I'm going to think of it as Marion Davies' vagina.
Lovely. Love it. So then they show Michelle looks fine.
Oh, I thought she looked really pretty.
She looked nice.
She had these real cute extra short bangs. And
She's looked better this season. And then Ross is there in like a striped thing. Was it like
zebra.
Beetlejuice? It's gay Beetlejuice.
I love it. You say his name 3 times and he comes and gives you fashion advice or something.
So Ross is there, and then the guest judges, Tamar Braxton, is back. Oh my god, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, I love her.
Oh yes. .com.org.co.uk. Yes. And then
Fortune.
Yeah, Fortune Feaster? Feastmeister? Feemster. Fortune Feemster. I've seen her do an improv show at like UCB, and she was pretty funny. Didn't love her as a guest judge.
Your jokes were really funny. I'm probably gonna steal them and put them in my next special. Thank you.
So anyway, so they're all there.
Yes.
So first up, Shay opens the show, and I thought she did a very good job.
It's an uphill battle when you're first.
Yeah.
I do think that's the hardest. It was like very good.
Yeah.
It's like solid.
Yeah.
Nice way to start.
We know you for being a kind, patient shero. Gonorrhea clinics know you as patient 0.
Yeah.
It was like the tried and true jokes, and I'm like, that's cool. You know, you're opening and whatever, and like, so at least she knows she's gonna be the first one to tell them.
That's
so
true.
It's like, can't use my joke anymore because I already said it. Bye.
Bye.
You know, so sure, get it out of the way. Tell the boob joke and the whatever. And obviously we're gonna hear a lot of that tonight anyway. But or are we?
Not as many as you would have thought.
Nope. Come on, guys. Talk about just like. What is that?
Bang the gong?
No, like the baseball reference where it's like a...
Punt?
Yeah, a bunt.
That's a cake, though.
A bunt cake. It's a bunt.
But no, when you bunt...
Bunt.
When you
bunt.
bunt.
No, you bunt the ball, yeah.
Or like a...
No, but I think it's like
putt.
It's a...
Like, just tap.
A low ball?
Just tap it in.
Just tap.
Just tap it in.
Tap.
A lob.
A lob. Well, that's like tennis. Like a... Sure, it's a lob.
It's golf, too.
Well, lob is... Yeah, but that's different. So Shay's look, though...
Her face and hair looked really good.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was sort of some combination of like 90s goth, but then like runway.
Yeah.
Like, like supermodel 90s goth. I don't know. I didn't care for this one.
No, this was not... This was probably my least favorite look that she's ever had.
Maybe definitely. Maybe she like used up all of her like fabulous looks
I
in
hope
the beginning. Because last week I didn't love
No, me either. It wasn't like a train wreck. It just wasn't great.
Absolutely not. I mean, it's just that she has set a very high bar.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was like, this is fine.
Grace Jones would not be wearing this.
No.
Ever. So then next up, Sasha Velour with this like red neoprene hat. So on the tour of Florida, Sasha, for me, looked like a Jewish grandmother.
She looked like if Salvador Dali started to design like docent outfits.
Okay.
So it was just like it was like a real grandma suit, but like edgy and weird. You know what I mean?
Sure, because with like the swirlies and whatever.
It was very much Sasha.
Well, yes. Kind of hip grandma, but like not so much. A little bit. I mean, what grandma's wearing neoprene? I should actually get my grandmother into some neoprene. I think that'd be really, really great.
Quite fabulous.
Yes.
We didn't talk about Sasha's performance.
No. She was really funny.
Yes. Well, it started and I was like, oh dear.
No. That was extremely edifying humor.
But then I thought, she must have a plan.
Yeah.
She always has some
And
sort
she
of plan.
did.
And it was really funny. Well, first you're like, this isn't the Ross Matthews roast. Because she's taking a long time to tell this Ross joke. And you're like, where's this going exactly? And then it was really funny. She's basically like, Ross, you have the face of a young gay man and the voice of an adult woman.
So, the opposite of Tamar Braxton.
I loved Tamar's reactions. They were so funny.
So great. So great. And she actually really helped Sasha a lot. Like
I
that
think
was
so.
like, it was
that
like,
totally.
yes.
Where she did not help Farrah.
No.
In the she could have and
Well,
not.
Yeah.
She could have laughed at that joke,
Sure.
and then it wouldn't have been as awkward.
She's Toni Braxton's less talented, more annoying sister.
But the joke wasn't funny. It helped that Sasha had a funny joke.
Absolutely. I'm just saying.
So anyway, so then Sasha finally gets into like reading Michelle.
Michelle Visage is so Jersey, she calls her pubic hair the Garden State Expressway.
Well,
she was very smart.
She takes the Jeff Foxworthy approach and was basically like...
So Jersey, she wanted to call her second child White Flight. Oh well, that one worked in my mind.
And then the third one didn't land at all. But you know what? She was really good with recovery.
Yep.
And she was really good at making fun of herself and her own, like, faults.
She didn't fall back into her cards. She was like, oh, well, that one was funnier in my head. Okay, moving on. So then Sasha hands it over to Valentina, who was doing a lot.
I really liked this.
I mean, it was like, so wacky.
She was the one, I think, that best pulled off a character.
Sure.
Right? There was a couple of people that tried to do a character with an accent or whatever, and I think she was the most successful.
I agree.
It was funny.
It was
weird.
Funny. It was really weird.
She kept calling her Michelle.
Michelle is such a cochina. She knows how to say and spell harder in 6 different languages.
I don't mind jokes where it's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but this is so wacky that I'm laughing at it.
Yes.
And that was mostly what this was.
Well, and I loved her final joke. It cracked me up. Ross, you're just so cute.
You just remind me of a cute hamster. I just want to shove you up my butt.
It's weird.
It was weird, but it made me laugh.
Yeah, it's true. It made Rue laugh too, so there you go. And then her outfit was...
I liked it.
I liked it.
It was giving me like Cha-Cha de Gregorio. You know, it was very like 50s Latina, you know, like almost like she was a drape, like from Crybaby. Like she was like the bad girl in the hot pants, you know, in the pedal pushers, the skin tight pedal pushers. Look out for her.
I liked that it was pants.
Yes, it was like a different, you know, vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought it was really cute.
It was perfectly lovely. I didn't really gag over anyone this week, so.
No, well, you couldn't really see their looks.
That's
I kept
true.
having to be like, I guess.
Well, that stupid wheel of Michelle was so large.
I'm gonna look around this drum face that does not look like Michelle at all.
No.
It looks like an artist's rendering of someone who might be Michelle Visage.
You know, you got your Facetune.
Sometimes when people see you in person, they can get a little bit disappointed.
So speaking of bad characters, Trinity Taylor
comes out basically dressed like Ellie Mae Clampett.
When we saw the full body, I was like,
Oh
what
my God.
the fuck is going on, girl?
She had thigh-high acid wash denim boots. And I was like, you own those, girl.
Was it like, you own those, girl, or was it like, you own those, girl?
Both.
And then she was just doing this hillbilly thing.
I have to go feed the chickens after this. Michelle, you know all about wrestling cocks, don't you?
It was such a long walk. She was like, sorry I'm dressed like this. I had to go feed the chickens in my chicken coop. Long story. Speaking of cocks. Like, it was like the longest walk to get to cock.
Both
I
Trinity...
literally think she wore that specifically to make that chicken joke.
And I was just gonna say, both Trinity and Alexis were like, I'm gonna plan my whole outfit around one mediocre joke. And I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? It's a horrible idea. I don't know
She
what.
got locked into that chicken cock joke and just...
lost everything else.
It just was like tunnel vision because it was bad.
It was.
Remember when she's just like, well, you gotta remember.
We all poop.
It was bad.
It was really bad.
But it was a bummer because she's been reading some girls and it's like, well, now's your time. Read Michelle. You can do this.
Yeah.
I have faith in you.
It just... She went down the wrong... She chose the wrong path. She chose poorly.
Yeah. You have chosen poorly. So Pheromone looked gorgeous, I thought.
Looked very pretty.
Right? Elegant, this beaded, long...
She looked like Marilyn Monroe.
Sure, she did.
She had this big pink hair. It was very...
She also, the dress reminded me of something that, like, Sandra Bullock wore in Miss Congeniality.
Yeah, it had a pageant.
Yeah, but like the right kind of pageant.
Yeah, like a good pageant.
Yeah.
I mean, once again...
It's a scholarship program.
Right. Once again, this was more Vegas than her first week.
Sure.
So the biggest problem with this was,
It wasn't funny. As Michelle Visage would say herself, that's not a read, that's just mean.
Yeah.
And that was the problem, was she was just saying mean things about them.
I don't know about you, but don't you actually have to have talent to do that?
Well, that, but I think the real problem was, because, like, Bianca or somebody with confidence could have made those so harsh they were funny, right? But she came out there with no confidence and was basically like, I'm saying this really mean thing, I'm sorry. Like, she was already apologizing.
Yeah.
Had she had a real, just like, fuck you confidence about it, it could have been better.
Yes.
Michelle said it later, but I had thought about it earlier, because she looked like Marilyn Monroe. If she had come out and been real airheady and been like, I don't even know what I'm saying, you bitch. You know, like, it would have been really funny.
Michelle Visage.
She's just a real slut. You know, or something, and put on that voice and had sort of more of that airheady.
Sure.
With like a silver tongue, you know, or
a razor tongue.
A razor tongue. It would have been better.
So then next up was Peppermint.
Yes.
Who really steps it up.
Yeah, she did.
I wasn't expecting a lot, I guess. I was kind of like, oh, she could do okay.
Thank you, Pheromone.
Thanks.
Thanks for giving me a lob.
Here you go. I think her years of hosting drag shows really helped.
Yes.
This situation.
Yes.
And then she makes a Destiny's. She was like, I haven't seen Michelle riding on someone's coattails this much since Destiny's Child or whatever, and it was really funny.
It was really funny.
And it reminded me of the poor Michelle hashtag. Do you remember this? But it's like all that. Please, just if you don't know what I'm talking about, go Google poor Michelle. You don't even have to say Williams. Just poor Michelle. And there are memes and memes. That time she didn't have the drum stand. That time she wasn't allowed to touch the trophy. That time she wasn't allowed to be in the same picture. Like, it's just... I'm vamping because there's just so many good ones.
No, but so Peppermint was really funny.
Right.
So she came out though, I mean, so everyone kept telling her how gorgeous she looked. I thought she looked nice. Her face was beat.
She looked really pretty.
She did. Her eye makeup was fabulous.
Strangely enough, her hair seemed bigger this week than last week. That might not be true, but like the structure and the volume of it just seemed like big hair. It was very Rita Hayworth. I mean, it looked sort of like drag does classic glam. Like Hollywood glam.
Yeah.
And it was like, that was cute.
It was.
She looked pretty.
Happy 90th birthday, Michelle.
So then next was Nina Bonina Seymour Hoffman.
Hey, babies.
She had this whole church old lady with the drawn-on glasses.
Oh my God, yes.
Pearls.
Which is a bummer because I was a little bummed because there's this fabulous Instagram video that Nina posted of her doing Rue with the glasses.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's so good.
This was funny, but it was more like performance art.
Yes.
And I wasn't mad about it.
No.
It was very like, oh, you're doing a bit. Yeah.
Coming all the way from the lions, tigers, and bears, the sheep of the Lord Missionary Baptist Church. Praise the Lord.
And she really stayed in character, which helped, which really helped.
It did.
She didn't, you know.
And this was a pretty successful character.
Yes.
Once again, Florida.
Sure.
Just pointing it out.
House dress, you know.
Yep. She could literally be any great aunt in Florida.
She kind of looked like Red Fox if he was in drag. The wig was a wig. I mean, it was a wig. I mean, that was the point.
Right.
But she looked like the grandma in The Nutty Professor or something, right? It was just like really funny.
Oh boy. So then, last close in the show, Alexis Michelle.
I couldn't pay attention to a thing she was saying because her breasts were so distracting.
They were really bad.
It was the return of like the saucers. I've got
I knew you were going to say
saucers.
that. I knew, but green.
But green, but very separated.
Yep.
Very clearly showing above her dress. Because they weren't really boobs. They were like pads.
Yes.
It was just a mistake.
The green was a horrible mistake.
Well, just wear a green dress.
Just wear a green dress. Wear the ugliest green dress you can find. And then it's like, cool, I'm in an ugly green dress. The reason I'm in an ugly green dress is because Michelle hates ugly green dresses. Moving on.
Just wear a fugly green dress and there you go.
Yep.
And if people get it, they get it. And if they don't get it, they don't get it.
Exactly. Are you trying for like the off Broadway production of Wicked that like is bootlegged?
Right. It's the real Jewish version of Wicked.
The theater running in our veins, Michelle. You also have several venereal diseases running through yours, but that's besides the point.
Like at first it seemed like she wasn't doing the accent.
She was not.
In honor of your big night, I wore your favorite color, girl.
And then it really,
and then she was
really
like, oh, I'm bumming, I gotta add the accent.
It was like, oh, I gotta do the real Jewish New York thing. And then it was like, oh.
What is happening?
It just wasn't funny at all.
None of it.
Silence.
None of it.
Just ask the UK men's water polo team.
It was sad. It was sad.
It was a sad Jewish alphabet. Yeah. It was also just that her jokes didn't make sense.
No.
She makes some water polo.
Oh God! Well, she makes a water sport joke. She goes, "Well, she can take a pissing or something like that." Getting pissed on was the joke. It was just like, oh no. But I will say this.
Yeah.
I laughed the hardest. Through this whole thing because of Alexis. Well. No. Really, because of Michelle.
Just ask the UK men's water polo team.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Like she might as well have just said, get the fuck out of here with this nonsense. What are you doing right now?
So, Nina and Valentina are safe.
Yep.
And as they're walking off the stage, Nina turns around and you see that she has like a white corset and G-string on under this very see-through church lady dress. And I was like dying. And then I was fantasizing about like, oh my God, I don't want her to be in the bottom. But if she was in the bottom and she had to lip sync, first of all, in this old lady, church lady outfit, you're like, yes, this is hilarious. And then she takes it off so she can be a real dirty grandma and just be like, yes, I'm in this now.
You're making me burn.
Burn. Oh my God, like kind of living for it. That would have been so funny. And she was just like socks or something, or like house slippers.
Whatever her shoes were, I was living for it. I was like, yeah.
I'm mad there wasn't a runway.
I am too.
They should have at least had them like, because it was weird that they had them all standing in a row out there, just like watching each other. They should have had them walk on, and then you could have seen their outfit, and it wouldn't have been like, we're all standing here watching you.
Yeah, that's true. They should have all been like off to the side, and then they walk down the runway to the podium.
Da, da, da. Oh, here's my outfit. Right?
Have like a little music or whatever.
Peppermint wins.
Yes.
I was close between Sasha and Peppermint. She hadn't won, and she really stepped it up and like proved herself.
I think they were like, okay,
finally. So they
here
were
you
like,
go, Peppermint.
great.
We'll give
like,
you the win.
Sasha easily could have won too.
Yeah.
But I think they were like, you've earned this.
Yeah.
You know, you finally like got there to the next plateau.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And she was really funny. She had fun jokes.
She was really funny.
She did well.
The bottom three is
Trinity, Alexis, and Farrah.
Farrah.
Is Farrah going to be safe just because
she went
there?
Everything that came out of your mouth was harsh. That's not a bad thing. It's a roast. But you got to follow it up with a punchline.
And then Ross was like,
no.
But basically, he was mad she didn't take his advice in the workroom.
I would call it fucked up. Okay. Because we identified the problem in the workroom.
You should have listened to me.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, she probably should have listened to him.
Oh, totally.
But it was a weird. He
but...
really took it personally.
So Farrah and Alexis are in the bottom.
And they lip synced to Dolly Parton.
Oh my God, it was so good.
It was so good. And Farrah is just giving me some Angelina Jolie, like,
Oh my God,
slash,
her
like,
leg.
Jessica Rabbit, like,
Yes,
oh
yes.
my God, it was everything. Her
excited
leg
because-
looked fabulous.
Oh my gosh. Well, I was really excited because her last lip sync was real bad.
Yeah.
It didn't help that the song was awful. It was the Meghan Trainor song.
Oh.
So, like, that didn't help. So, when she had that leg out, I just had this feeling like, oh, this is going to be better, at least. Better
she
than it
was. I mean, this was a good lip sync.
She became Dolly Parton on stage.
Right?
Well, it was weird. It was like two different
reads.
Two different reads of it, right? Farrah became Dolly and was like living the song, and Alexis was like doing everything.
Yes.
I didn't love it.
I didn't either.
Like, it wasn't.
I honestly was kind of leaning towards Farrah.
Oh, I think Farrah did a better lip sync. I think Alexis has shown more potential.
Yeah.
And I think Alexis, pulled out the stops.
Yeah.
But it was very manic.
It was manic
And
again.
I was like, okay, Farrah was like giving me some Tina Turner with yeah. But Alexis, I mean, I was genuinely afraid she was gonna like slide off the stage and hurt herself.
Sure.
She just starts running
and then slides
into like
she was like the
really
home base.
Inelegant split.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't like, yes, bitch.
I wasn't either. I was really torn.
Well, and then she pulls out a tiny witch hat.
Oh my God, I did kind of love that.
Well, I was
It was
like,
so weird.
Well, because at one point, Aja was wearing that tiny witch hat. And then I was like, oh, is this like, she's like, I look like Elphaba, I'm gonna like make this joke.
Yeah.
Does that mean that she went back and got it? I was like, what's this?
All I can say is I want Alexis to give Sasha that tiny witch hat.
Oh my God.
Because not only would she then like be giving me some angina realness, but also it's a witch hat.
Oh my God, does that mean that Alexis is now part of the coven?
We knew that last week when she was the saboteur.
That's true. Like, I totally get why Alexis stayed.
Yep.
I'm gonna slightly miss Farrah, but I'm not heartbroken about it. I'm really glad that she went out on like a good.
Yes, she looked good. She nailed the lip sync.
Yeah.
Her challenge it got away from her.
Disaster. So Farrah goes home.
Oh.
Well, she's leaving and she's like, okay, bye LA. I have to go back to Las Vegas and cook.
Oh.
And I was like, cook food? Cook because it's hot?
Cook because it's hot.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe she's like, oh, I have to go back to my real life and start like cooking for myself again. Do we think Farrah cooks her own meals? I'm gonna say
Brown rice and
no.
vegetables, yes. And an Evian.
And an Evian.
So Untucked. Boop, 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 boop. So, this week was kind of weird because it was just Valentina and Nina.
Yeah.
As they were like waiting for the other girls to come back.
I didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it. It went on a little long.
Well, yeah, but they
And it
were
was
like, they're both cute. Like, they were both kind of fun with each other.
Time for a cocktail.
Well, I don't drink. I'm an old lady. So I'm gonna have me a cranberry juice, honey.
Cheers, babe.
Cheers.
It was interesting to see them just sort of kiki. And I was like,
Yeah.
I like this.
Well, it was interesting to see they were both really in their heads about like what they did wrong and how they let themselves down and blah blah blah. And it was
Well,
like,
I
well,
think
you guys did pretty well.
They both haven't won in a while.
A while, that's
right?
true.
And so they're both kind of going fuck.
That's true.
So Nina asks Valentina, she's like, well, how do you think Alexis did tonight? And Valentina's face, girl. And then they all started, Nina and her started talking about
Me talking about how broad her shoulders are. We're all men.
Right, we're
We
broad.
all got some big ass shoulders. So that's where I was coming from with it. But she's not at a place where she has a sense of humor.
She
about
seems
it.
so confident.
And I realized Alexis sort of pitching a fit about that really put a damper on the whole roast. I feel like everyone then got in their own heads and was like, oh, we can't be mean.
Yeah.
We have to be kind of nice.
If Roxy Andrews can laugh at a joke about
Her mom abandoning her?
then like what the fuck, girl? Come on.
I think about you all the time, especially in the morning at the bus stop.
So then the other girls walk in.
Oh my God.
And we finally see the entirety of Trinity's denim, thigh-high,
Overall garter belts.
boots. I mean, they just kept getting worse the longer you looked at
Oh my God, and then there were like little sparkly
No, it was
circle.
like quarters. I mean,
yeah, it was like quarters and dimes
and
glued
there was
to
also,
her.
like chains. There was chains.
It was a disaster. It was.
I was just like, everywhere you look, there was a
clusterfuck
new accessory, and it was just like, oh, this is worse than it could have possibly been.
Was it a clusterfuck? Because the chicken joke.
Was like looking for a cock. Yeah. Yes.
Terrible. Oh my gosh.
Where's Miss Fame?
I was like, oh, Miss Fame joined us for the rest of this evening. Apparently.
Whatever, I do a really good chicken. Like, no big deal. It's not a big deal. Get off my back.
The girls come in and they're just like, oh, they the tops and bottoms and whatever.
Yes.
And they're talking about like their jokes and like.
Well, Shay is
really going in about how they weren't funny.
Well, the Tamar jokes weren't funny.
Yes.
Specifically. She's
Yes.
like, everyone just said the same thing, and like they weren't funny, and then she basically just says all of the jokes that Farrah said, and then Farrah just goes,
Oh, I just sucked at this.
oh, I really sucked at this. By the end of this Untucked, I was like,
Oh my
I
God.
really like Farrah.
Right? They keep doing this to us. I mean, not that I didn't like her before.
But now I'm
But
like,
we really
oh.
got to see more of
Well,
her
you know what it was?
personality.
We just saw, she just had screen time.
Yes.
I feel like they haven't been giving people
No.
equal screen time at all.
Yeah. If she had had her dick singing moment on the actual show, that really colors your perception of her.
Totally. I want a dick in my mouth. Remember what was that?
I want a dick too.
Well, so Alexis is kind of talking about her performance or whatever, and she's like, well, my cards were out of order. And Shay is just like...
Her face is not having it. I'm like, I'm with you, girl.
It was subtle. It
I'm sorry.
Like...
So you had bad jokes out of order?
And I think the other thing, the reason I really like Farrah is she doesn't let the criticism really get her down.
The three of us were probably the top.
Probably.
For sure. Well, I mean, okay.
They ripped us to shreds.
She had read the house down,
Yes.
right? And she was still sort of able
Cheering.
to joke about it.
She
didn't
take
go
it in.
Aja.
But I think that's partly maybe because, like, as we saw last week, like, she
She's
seems to have
been
all
through it.
Yeah, she seems like she has come to a safe place in her head.
Yes.
And that's great.
Yes.
And Nina could learn from that.
Yeah.
Because this was not a cute look.
Some girls here think, oh, she's not original. Oh, she's not being funny. She's.
Nina, shut the up right
No,
now.
hold on.
No.
I think Nina's default is, well, people are talking about me, right?
Right.
She said people were saying I'm unoriginal. And I thought she meant when Alexis, this is in the bonus clips too, Alexis and her sort of make up.
Were you really mad about me making that joke? For real, honestly.
Girl, I think it's so basic.
So that's what I thought she was talking about. And then it was like, no, Shay, you were saying stuff. And then she's basically just, if she hears anyone talking about anything, she assumes it's about herself.
Her. Yeah.
And that's gonna
That's dangerous.
bite
That's,
her
yeah.
in the butt. So Shay is just going off on her, and then Trinity is just like
Slurping.
Who
She's
is
a-
saying that, Nina? Who are you hearing that from?
You.
I wasn't even trying to throw any of that your way. If I have something to say about you, Nina, I say it to you. You know I love you, and you know I keep it real.
I love too that Alexis is in the background, like listening, doing her song, and then she's just like, wait, I gotta hear this. I'm gonna take these out because what's
Okay.
going on over there?
What's happening over here?
We didn't see any interaction of Sasha and Farrah.
Not really. So
That was a bummer.
the curse is over?
I guess. Also, the hat cycle is over.
Yeah.
Officially.
Farrah didn't leave with a hat at all, but she did leave with a full face of makeup.
Oh my god, I loved it.
So
and
Farrah-
great hair.
Farrah leaving was my favorite.
Absolutely.
So far.
But wait. But also my favorite was when Farrah goes, okay, I'm gonna go practice my song too, but before I do, I just have to talk about how I was a sloppy bottom this week.
She's just like, I gotta get into it. I was a mess. That's what Farrah has a good attitude.
I'm just kind of like accepting the responsibility and the fact that I'm gonna be lip syncing tonight. I'm not going down without a fight, and Dolly Parton's my bitch.
But yes, she's taking her wig off and packing up and everything, and she just goes, oh, she's got her real hair. She just looks like a real cute little girl, and
Yeah.
she's just like, oh, I'm gonna leave this face on.
She kind of reminded me of like Blake Lively.
Something, yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, she was very Julianne Hough.
That's what I meant.
With a full,
Yes.
That's who you meant? Great. They are very different people.
Whatever.
I think I'm gonna keep this face on. This mug is a beat.
I'm feeling on fleek. I'm gonna keep it, and I
Yeah,
loved
like-
that. I was like, yes, you go to that airport and drag.
Right? It was so good. Well, yeah, so then she gets back to the workroom and she's like, oh, I have notes.
Oh, everyone's from everyone.
Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4.
5, 6.
Who didn't leave her a note? Maybe somebody did a joint note.
Maybe.
Who didn't leave her a note? Does Reddit know? Who knows?
Yeah, someone tell us who didn't leave her a note.
They fucking blurred her little chicken
Her little,
cutlets.
right? I was like, this is absurd, you guys. It looked really weird. It looked like it was like indented, like there was a giant scoop out of it, and I was like, ooh, that's creepy. Creeped me out.
Andrew, that's what boobs look like.
And so she's packing up, and she has like some great outfits and fun stuff, and she pulls out this latex red like bodysuit. And I was like, yeah!
I have to be completely covered in lube to get into this. A lot of lube. In fact, I think there's some lube on it right now.
Wait, I think there's some lube on this still. It's making me horny. Oh my god, I can't wait to go home and be a whore.
Loved it.
And then she puts on this show with this feather fan.
Yes. It's like, here's a different face.
I was
sad, happy. I was hoping that she would put it on her head, but it was a fan, you know, so like she couldn't wear it.
Yeah.
Because that would have been talk about it continuing the fabulous hats.
Would have been great.
Would have been great.
Well, then so she's leaving in the minivan and she just goes, bye, bye, bye. Like it literally, I thought they were playing the same audio clip over and over.
Bye. 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 So we'll see you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday.
And it's gonna be really exciting. And please subscribe and tell
really exciting.
And tell all your friends.
Tell all of your friends.
And contribute to our Patreon. Am I doing it right, Sasha? Is that right?
Just like a little witch hat.
Oh, I just sucked at this.